Good morning, everyone. We're back here at the Sacred Grove, and I forgot my camera stick, so I'm holding a phone in my hand. And hopefully it's not too shaky. I see people are still struggling out there with spirituality. I see people are still struggling out there with spirituality. What is your goal? What is your aim? What are you trying to do? Now, when it comes to spirituality, folks, all right, there's really no set goal, GOAL. If there is any kind of goal, the goal should be to have a perfect day today. A perfect day. What is a perfect day? Well, for me, a perfect day is not harming anyone with my words or deeds. For me, a perfect day is not getting involved in any destructive or useless activities. For me, a perfect day is to not put anything into my system that affects my faculties in a negative way. It's pretty simple. Now, that's my goal now. Originally, as I mentioned before, I was introduced to spirituality through the 12-step program in 1988. That's where it started for me. And naturally, you had the 12 steps. The 12 steps were, and still are, principles spiritual in nature that, when practiced as a way of life, will expel the obsession to drink and enable the sufferer to live useful and happily whole. That's a true statement when a person practices those steps. And we're able to live useful and happily whole because through doing a thorough taking of the steps, we recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, and as a result, we have a spiritual awakening, a psychic change, as it's called, profound personality change, as it's called. And just because that came out of a 12-step program, that's pretty much a universal outcome when you're practicing any spiritual path that involves spiritual principles. It's just a little bit more in depth for alcoholics and addicts because of, well, the mess we left behind us due to our antics and immature behavior, due to being sick. See, the cure for addiction is spirituality. The cure for life's problems is spirituality. What is spirituality? Well, there are many paths and many ways to God, higher power, the divine, the one, Yahweh, Jesus, Allah, Muhammad, All-Father, the Great Spirit, Ram, Sita, Buddha. And I'll be 66 years on this earth next month, and I found all these paths and religions pretty much have the same recipe. to love other people and don't do them any harm. But we know where human beings are involved. Oh. Anyway. You know what? Stop making more of a mess than it is. If you are having trouble getting into the groove, getting into the vibe of spirituality, there's a good chance that something from your past is blocking you, creating problems. And it's not for all people. That could be not everybody's problem, if we could call it a problem. But you don't have to complicate it. And don't make your goal, one day I'm going to be a mystic, one day I'm going to be a shaman, one day I'm going to be a light worker, one day I'm going to read the tarot cards, one day I'm going to be a rabbi, one day I'm going to be a priest. If you have it in you, if you have that in you, there are forces that will make it happen. If you don't have it in you, what's the sense of working toward that goal that you want to achieve when that's not you? They call it finding your gifts. What are your gifts? Most people don't wake up and say, hey, I have this gift, I have that gift, although some do. But that's how it worked for me. Those 12 steps. Clear away the wreckage of the past. Those 12 steps, which have spiritual principles codified into each one. Okay? That was a thorough house cleaning. That was a thorough house cleaning, and that's how it works for me. And then things just developed along the way. I didn't set goals that one day I'd be here at the sacred grove. This is just part of the process as you go along your way. Find a simple plan that has to do with a spiritual path or way and stick to it, okay? Forget about what everybody else is doing. Don't try to convert them to your path. Don't go saying, well, I do this and you do that. That's wrong. It's none of your business what other people are doing unless they're up in your business. All right? Then you want to tactfully handle that. Do your own thing. There's lots of people doing their own thing spiritually speaking, all right? We're doing our own thing, but the truth is a lot of it's alike. But we're not trying to hurt anybody. Stop making it so complicated. And I'm going to tell you what I said yesterday. I'll tell you this again. Be careful what you watch on YouTube or any other place that has videos like from spiritual people, mystics, shamans, sages. Do you really know those people? And what's the message they're giving you? Look, Here's how it works for me. I take ancient principles from antiquity, apply them to my life, and if it works, I keep it. What works and what doesn't work, I cast it aside, but that doesn't mean I won't revisit it. Again, I take ancient principles, mostly ancient, listen and read books by modern mystics. I take these principles and apply them to my life. What works, I keep. What doesn't, I cast aside, but that doesn't mean I won't revisit them. And why would I tell you what I keep what works? I keep what works because it improves my quality of life. It improves my quality of life. I got to know myself. I got to know other people. A lot of other people are spiritually sick. That's the problem. Spiritually sick. It's no secret. It's no secret. Ancient man lived a simple life. We don't have to go too far back. Ancient man lived a simple life, and then we had all these, the Industrial Revolution and the Copper Age and the Bronze Age and farming and, earth cycles, and people were huddled into villages, and then villages had laws, and the whole story. It just got more complicated because people took their focus off what is the real thing. What is the real meaning of life? Honor the land and the sea. Honor the land and the sea. Stop complicating your life. Google what is a spiritual path. Google what is a spiritual way. Google the 12 steps and just read them. Find a place where you could go in nature. There's an old saying, I'm not sure where it came from. It doesn't really matter. If you can't help someone, at least don't hurt them. If you can't help someone, at least don't hurt them. Here's another one. Everyone you meet is carrying a heavy burden. Everyone you meet is carrying a heavy burden. Here's another one. If you don't see God in the next person you meet, you need look no further.